Hi, and welcome back to Cooking with Mark. And today we're going to make red bourbon ground chicken spaghetti. What you're going to need is 1/3 cup soy sauce. You're going to need 1/2 cup water, 1/3 cup brown sugar, 1/4 cup of apple juice, 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar. You're also going to need, normally I put 2 tablespoons of ketchup in, but because we're making a sauce, we're going to use a 12-ounce can of tomato paste. We're also going to thicken it up with a little cornstarch because we want to make it nice and thick. You're also going to need the 2 cloves of garlic, red, yellow, orange bell peppers sauteed, and 1/2 cup of onion. And this is all half. I'm sorry, not a 1/2 cup. Half of red bell, red, yellow, orange bell peppers, and a 1/2 of onion, all sauteed up with 2 cloves of garlic chopped and sauteed. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to combine all this to make our sauce. And then we will do the ground chicken and throw that in there with it. So here we go. Now I always pre-cook my onions, peppers, and garlic. So these have all been frozen and pre-cooked. All I did was just simply heat them up in the oven. Heat them up in the microwave. And then throw them in here. So that's the first thing we're going to do. I've already measured all the ingredients out, so all we're going to do is just simply add this to the pan. Now, if this tomato paste actually thickens up the bourbon sauce, then we really won't have to add the cornstarch. The cornstarch is just a thickening agent anyways. That's all we're using it for. And the reason why it's called red bourbon sauce is because we're actually adding the tomato paste into it. That's the only reason why it's called red bourbon. Otherwise, it would just be sweet, regular bourbon sauce. I've got this on a high heat to get this all going. Now, anytime you're doing any kind of pasta, you always want to add a little bit of oil to the water because it makes it so the pasta doesn't stick. So what we're going to do is we're just going to simply add probably like a tablespoon, or I'm sorry, teaspoon of oil in there. And the primary reason is just to make sure that the pasta doesn't stick. Now the other thing that I like to do is when I make any kind of spaghetti, I don't like the full spaghetti, so I always break it in half. That way, when you break it in half, it's easier to actually eat. As I said, I don't like trying to wrap it up on my fork. And I did use 1 pound of spaghetti, the thin spaghetti, the angel hair. If you look at this, the sauce is really thickening up, and it is a nice red color, which is what we wanted. The beauty on this is it's actually a sweet. It's a bourbon flavor. So when you take a bite into it, you're not even going to know. If you were to look at it right now, you think it was just spaghetti sauce. This is not spaghetti sauce. This is actually a red bourbon sauce. So we're going to put that on a low heat. And then we're going to start the ground chicken. Now the ground chicken is a 1 pound of Purdue ground chicken. It's thawed. It's so easy to cook with. It's not like your regular hamburger. This stuff is really easy to cook with, and you want to put this on a low heat because it will burn. It does not take that long to cook. So we have the chicken here. And once this gets cooked, we'll throw it in with the sauce. And remember, this chicken doesn't cook like, or doesn't brown like your hamburger does. So you want to keep that in mind while you're cooking this. You want to keep it on a medium low heat. And we're going to stir this pasta. As I said, I did put in some virgin olive oil, and so that's causing this not to stick, which is exactly what I was hoping for. And we're going to turn this down to a medium. Now the chicken is going to turn a white, almost like a gray white. So you want to keep that in mind when you're doing this chicken. We're going to add a little bit of butter to this because it's not like hamburger where it produces its own grease. You can see it starting to turn brown. And that's exactly what we want. Or, I'm sorry, not brown, more like a gray white. So we've got the chicken going. We have the sauce all done. And that's on a low heat. With everything that I just added to it, it's going to be amazing. It is so good. I'm telling you right now. The pasta is cooking. The sauce tastes very sweet, like a bourbon. We're going to do something. We're going to add a little bit more apple juice to it. So I want to give it that bourbon flavor, and we're going to add a little more brown sugar to it. So probably just maybe a 1/4 cup. And just about I would say maybe 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar. The chicken is starting to cook up here. And as I said, once this chicken gets done, we're going to throw it right in with the sauce. And we're going to stir this in here. And we're going to turn this up just a little bit, just because of what I just added to it. And we're going to add just a tad bit more soy sauce. And when I say a tad, I mean just let it pour out just a little bit, and then you're done. And a little bit more apple cider. And I'll put the actual amount in when I actually put this up on the website. This is one of those where I'm trying it for the first time, so I'm making sure that I have enough of the flavor in there. So once this is all done, I'll put the actual amount in there that I actually used. Alright, so we got that going. We got this going. This chicken is almost done here. This should be just about maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, and then this will be done. Now, I've never cooked ground chicken for any kind of spaghetti, so this is new. As a matter of fact, this meal is something that I just thought of, so this whole thing is all new. This is a red bourbon ground chicken spaghetti. The pasta's got a little bit longer to go here. Now, if you wanted to add more, you could actually do another pound of chicken. Chicken is really not that expensive. It's three something. I think it's like $3.28 for a pound. It's much healthier for you than hamburger is. So it is a really good alternative for any kind of meal that you use hamburger for. You could substitute it for ground chicken. You could substitute it for ground turkey if that's what you wanted. The reason why this is ground chicken is because this is a bourbon sauce. And because it's a bourbon sauce, I wanted to make sure that we use chicken to go with it. So this is almost done here. I'm going to give it just a few seconds more. And then we'll have this all set. And we're just going to taste this just to make sure. That is perfect. Now, I bring my food to work. I like my coworkers to actually try the food. So I have them, I bring certain things to work. I bring mainly my desserts. This week I brought in some kibasi stew, and 2 people fell in love with it. They said it was so amazing. They didn't know that I actually can make something like that. This has never been made before, or at least I've never seen it. So I think you're going to find people to find this to be a truly amazing meal. So this is all done. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this back up to bring the front up to a 2 and shut the back off, because we're going to just simply pour in just the chicken, and try not to get the juice in there. This actually did produce quite a bit of juice from the chicken. I didn't think so, because while I was cooking it, it didn't look like it was producing any. That's why I threw the butter in there. Now, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when I cook, you never see me use salt. You never see me use pepper. The reason why is because I actually flavor with all natural. The peppers, the onions, and the garlic. That's my flavoring. So I feel no need to add anything else to it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to the front. And we're just going to stir this in here. This is nice and thick. Those peppers, the onions, and the garlic thicken up the sauce. If you didn't know that I had made a bourbon sauce, you would have thought this was just homemade regular spaghetti sauce. It looks amazing and it smells delicious. So this is all done. I'm going to keep that on a low, as I stated. And just check this pasta here. And the pasta is, the pasta's all done. So we're going to turn that off. Now there's 2 ways to do this. When you're making spaghetti, I know some people, you leave the sauce in one pan and the spaghetti in another. The other option is drain your spaghetti and then throw the spaghetti back in there and throw your sauce back in and mix it all up. That's how I'm used to doing it, so that's how we're going to do it. It's to your preference on how you do it. You know, if you want to do the sauce separate and then just pour it over the spaghetti, that's fine, you can do that. Like I said, it's everybody's preference on how they do it. So when you get done, it should look something like this right here. Now, I'm sure the presentation would look much better had I just put the pasta in a plate and poured the sauce over the top of it. However, I'm so used to cooking the way that I like to cook, so you just have to bear with me here. You can see that everything is mixed in nice and thoroughly. I'm going to put some on a plate so you can see that. This is Mark from Cooking with Mark. And you just watched red bourbon ground chicken spaghetti. If you have any questions, it'll be up on my Facebook page. It will be on my website. You can reach me on Instant Messenger. You can reach me on my email at mefsr1967@gmail.com. You can reach me at my phone number. You can also reach me at my email on my website. My phone number is 518-258-2393. I want to thank you for watching and have a great day now.